and didn't really make very many plays in the second half. So, we got to, continue to find ways to, get guys in space and be able to, create those one-on-one matchups that we want. And we got to add some more horses. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got to continue to, add some pieces to the puzzle that can, change games and make plays that create explosive plays and give you a chance to score more points.
All right. If you have questions for Coach, go ahead and raise your hand or put a note in the chat. Looks like we will start with Ethan from Huskies on Tap. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Thoughts on Ross Bauer's performance tonight? Very good first half. Obviously, the team kind of was sluggish in the second half, but what were your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Yeah, I think, obviously he's out there competing. He's fighting just like everybody else to make plays. We got to clean up the protection around him to make sure the pocket is clean for him. But I thought, he competed. He gave us a chance. Obviously you scored 24 points in the first half. You got to find ways to score points in the second half. But obviously up and down. I'm sure some throws he's going to want back. But guys got to make plays around him for us to be successful. And
then on the offensive side of the ball, Cole Tucker was listed as a starter today, but he was on the sideline for most of the offensive drives of the game. Is that a personnel thing or what is?
He's dealing with a little injury that's kind of slowing him down a little bit. So, we trying to get him back healthy as quickly as we can so he can help us. I mean, obviously, he's one of our better players and a guy that we need to be, have on the field for us to continue to have success. And but he's obviously dealing with something that we got to try to see where he's at for next week.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, the defensive line really stopped the run. They did a good job at that today. The secondary really didn't let them get the deep ball going, but the medium passes, were you willing to give those up today just to eliminate the deep ball?
Well, I think, you pick your poison and obviously we're trying to, minimize the explosive plays. I thought with the backup quarterback, I thought they would try to run the ball a little bit more. They did not, which is fine. But we gotta rally and tackle. I think we got some guys that can cover. Exciting players that can cover, but we got to learn how to tackle and finish those plays because the 6-yard hit drop can turn into an explosive play.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go to James Krause from Northern Star.
Coach, Ethan just kind of brought up the secondary. I wanted to know your assessment on their performance today.
Well, I think on the outside we gotta play better at the cornerback position. We have to be able to, get up on guys and be physical. I thought our safety play probably played better. Devin, both of our safeties made picks, and those are two true freshmen out there making plays. And Devin definitely came up and made a lot of tackles in the run game and tackles on the ball. So I think those guys are getting better. We got to continue to get better around them and give ourselves a chance.
Talking about the offense, you guys had some big plays in the first half, were able to move pretty confidently. What was the missing piece in the second half?
Yeah, I got to be able to watch the tape and kind of figure out what were the problems. I thought, they started blitzing us. We got behind the sticks on first down, and then that makes it very predictable on second and long, third and long, where really they started playing two-man, which is a hard coverage. Normally when people play two-man, if you got a quarterback that can run a little bit, you run quarterback draw, and you come out the back door. So, obviously we don't have that, but we got to find plays to defeat two-man because obviously that would be a good coverage against us.
And then lastly, this game was a little chippy today. A lot of stuff going on after plays in terms of talking and maybe a little pushing and shoving, especially down the stretch. What do you guys do as a staff to kind of keep your players calm in those scenarios?
Well, we knew it was going to be chippy. If you watch the tape, you see a lot of things on tape that obviously we alerted our players to. The big thing we can't do is respond And I thought we did, for the most part, a good job of doing that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
We'll go to Mike from the Northern Star.
Coach, it really seemed like we saw a different Harrison Whaley today. What was the difference this week compared to what we've seen through the previous 4 games?
Yeah, I told the offensive staff, I said, this guy's about to take off because I saw it in practice. And I said, there's normally a moment when you see a back where it clicks for him. And I think it's clicked for him. And you know what? He is going to be a special player. And it's hard to describe, but I saw it during the week, and I told him this guy's going to be ready. And glad that he had some success. I think this is something he can build upon, but he's going to be a problem in this conference. And a guy that we're going to rely on. He ain't very big, but I told him, I said, Garrett Wolf was 167 pounds, and he led the country in rushing.
I had his.
Keep working, keep getting better, keep putting it on the practice field, and good things will happen for you.
Also, another question to follow up with that. It seems like with Whaley and, of course, with Richie, you're starting to see a couple of playmakers come forward on offense. And how important is that just as you're working through the last couple of games of the season and into next year to start identifying who your playmakers are going to be?
Yeah, no, I think it's important. I think those two guys have stepped up. We're going to add some more pieces to the puzzle. And then I think it gives us some flexibility. I thought Dustin went out there and did a nice job. We got to continue to add plays for him because he can help us. But I think, the more pieces you can have, the more diverse you can be on offense, and the more explosive and attacking that you can be, week to week.
Okay, Eddie Terfio from the Daily Chronicle.
Hey, Coach. I know this year you've talked a lot about complementary football. The defense makes the play and the offense to step up. Looks like in the first quarter you had that. You got the interception. Then you march down and score off of that. Then in the second half it kind of reverts. So obviously in the first quarter when you got that score, what was the attitude were you thinking you were turning a corner with that, or what was the reaction?
No, we came out in the third quarter and stopped them. That's when you play complimentary football, you stop them, then go down and score. I mean, that's the compliment, and that's the complimentary part. So we didn't do enough on offense. I mean, if you don't do enough on offense, it's hard to play complimentary football. And so that's the bottom line. We got to make more plays. We got to find ways to get, guys loose and free them up and attack, and I don't think we did that enough in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and then just, did you see a specific difference? Was it just the shift in defense, or was there something else you saw offensively in the second half that kind of was taking you guys out of rhythm?
No, I mean, they had a 17-play drive, right, I believe, and didn't score. We went 3 and out, and then they really had the ball the whole third quarter. So to me, it was kind of reverse of what happened against Western Michigan. We held the ball the whole first quarter. So, there wasn't a lack of rhythm. We didn't do anything with the ball when we got it. And then obviously they took it down and scored. And then, then you play in a whole totally different game. Obviously, you start going into 2-minute. It become a 2-possession ball game. And you call on different plays that becomes more, one-dimensional.
You mentioned a couple times now needing some horses earlier on, some pieces. Who do you see those guys being? I mean, other than the ones obviously that you mentioned, like who are you? Is there anyone you're eyeballing to kind of step up and give you another piece, another weapon on offense?
No, I think the way I look at it is we've added a lot. We got to continue to add more to our team to become more dynamic. So this year to me. We put a big emphasis on improving our defense. I think we've done that. I think we've gotten better. We're young. They'll make a jump. And then obviously, this offseason we have to focus on, what are the things that we can add to our offense? What are the type of players we can add that can make us more dynamic? Where we're not dependent on one guy here or one guy there. We got 5 or 6 different guys we can throw at you, and they can all be effective.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Any final questions for Coach Hammock? All right, Coach, thank you very much. With that, we'll let you go, and we'll get some Husky players in here. All right, we've been joined by Devin Lafayette. We'll take questions for Devin. Please raise your hand or let me know in the chat. James Krause from the Northern Star.
Hey, Devin. Coach just talked about how with a backup quarterback, you kind of, or at least he kind of anticipated them running the ball a little bit more. Were you and the secondary kind of caught off guard by how much they decided to throw the ball today?
No, we kind of knew going into this game that they're like top 10 in passing, so we kind of figured that they was going to throw the ball a lot, but it did kind of catch us by surprise that they threw it that much.
And then how much of does the staff preach you guys in the secondary running up and being a part of stopping the run? Because as Coach pointed out, you did a lot today personally to stop the run game.
Well, I mean, I feel like I didn't play fully to like tackle every play, but they preached that a lot at practice coming down. Like every day at practice, we just have to stud up. We don't have to tag off. We got to stud, make sure we tackle the ball.
All right, thanks, Devin.
No problem.
Okay, we'll go to Ethan Wiles from Huskies on Tap.
Hey, Devin, big day for you, 13 tackles. Kind of a obviously tough game at the end of the game because you guys were right there the entire way. But really, what did you see out of the defense today that held them in the game for so long? I mean, you held them to minimal points in the third quarter up until the fourth quarter.
It was just us kind of flying around, I feel, especially coming out of halftime when we know we needed to get that stop. So, like, it just kind of, like, influenced us to just go ahead, run to the ball, make a play, get ready for the next down, and try to get off the field.
Now that we're, 95% of the way through the season, how were you able to make the transition to the college level so easily?
Well, first, like, the first Buffalo game, that's, like, really when I had to gain my confidence because coming into that game, I wasn't really, like, confident in myself. So, for me, like, I just took it one game at a time. So, every game, I just picked up more and more confidence.
You talk about that confidence. It's obviously rough season. You're looking forward to building for next year. What kind of mindset, what are you telling the defense going forward?
Basically, we all need to stick together because right now we're at a point where we're almost there. So, like, we don't need to split up. Everybody need to stay together and just be here for next year.
Thanks, Devin.
No problem.
All right, we'll go to Eddie Terfio from the Daily Chronicle.
Hey, Devin, just take me through that interception there. What'd you see happen? What were you looking for, and what ended up happening?
Well, all week, my DC was on my tail about the switch verticals, and I had to sync with the wheel route. So I just had that in the back of my memory. So, like, as soon as he ran the wheel, I just kept syncing, and the quarterback just threw it there.
What was it like getting your first collegiate interception?
It felt good. It felt good.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Any other questions for Devin? All right, Devin, thank you very much. We'll let you go. Appreciate you being with us.
No problem.
All right, we've been joined by Harrison Whaley. We'll go to questions for Harrison, and I will start with James Krause from the Northern Star.
Harrison, coach kind of talked about how in the second half it looked like they were sending some different blitzes your guys' way. From what you played in protection in the second half, what did you personally see out there different from the first half?
Well, in the first half, they weren't blitzing as much and not a lot of movement. But in the second half, they picked up that movement. And there's a bunch of blitzes from outside, inside, and a bunch of twists from the defensive linemen that they did in the second half more than the first.
Talk about that rushing touchdown. What did you see sort of in terms of holes? Because it looked like you went through that play and went virtually untouched.
Yeah, touchdown. The O-line blocked very well. They blocked like they're supposed to, and I just had to make them right. And coach keep preaching this every practice, every week. Get vertical to me, and I got vertical, and I saw my opening, so I just took it.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Ethan Wiles from Huskies on Tap.
Hey, Harrison, coach just talked to us a little bit. He praised you a lot talking about this week. He said he saw something in you. Devin just talked about his confidence level coming in as a young guy. What does that do to your confidence in this first weird season going into next year where we're fully expecting a full season?
Well, it boosts my confidence level, of course, and just it gets me more used to this collegiate level and how the game's fast and everything. Just practicing against our defense helps me get used to this, builds my confidence, and gets me ready for what I'm supposed to do.
How's it feel to get that first 100-yard game under your belt? What was working for you guys this afternoon?
Well, our blocking was really good, and also our outside zones, our inside zones, and just reading our defense and making a change to it when they shift or stay the same. And it felt good to get 100 under my belt.
Congrats on the big day, Harrison. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Eddie Terfio from the Daily Chronicle.
Hey, Harrison, just, you kind of touched on a little bit there, but what was it like for you to have, I mean, not just your first 100-yard game, but your first touchdown as well? Just what, obviously, and how much does that help you going forward, having a big game like that?
It felt good. It felt great to play a good game at my first collegiate level, first collegiate year, I should say, and just felt great and feel great, yeah.
Then coach said he thought you were about to have a big game. Was there something, I mean, were you having a similar thought? Did you see like during practice, like, yeah, this is the week it's going to happen, or like what was that process?
Yeah, the week of practice, all I've been thinking was I got to get better, I got to do better, I got to play my best and just improve on top of that. And I practiced really well. I gave a lot during practice and just had to make a show on the field.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Harrison? All right, it looks like that'll take care of it. Harrison, thanks very much for being with us. I want to thank everyone for joining us and remind you that this has been recorded and it will be posted later on YouTube. Thanks, everyone.